Hey guys, Cidsa here with today's review of Guild of Dungeoneering.
This is the Guild of Dungeoneering on a quest when...
Just a quick disclaimer to note that I got this game from the developer, however all opinions remain my own. Guild of Dungeoneering is essentially a turn-based dungeon crawler that is available on Steam. What sets this game apart is that you use cards to build your dungeons and your characters. As unique as it may be, I'm going to tell you all why I hated it. Upon first starting this game, you'll notice that it's actually quite charming. It has a really charming hand-drawn aesthetic to it, and a little sort of bard song at the beginning. And after the first few quests, you might be thinking it's a fun little addicting game. But once you get stuck into this sucker, you realize that it's all about the RNG. Random Number Generator. Now, I can handle some RNG in games. That's usually pretty par for the course, especially for a dungeon crawler. However, this game is almost entirely random. I rarely rage quit games, but I had to take breaks from this one. That's how bad it was. Let me take you through a quest to really show you what I mean. Alright, so when you start a quest, you pick what type of adventure you want. The available classes will be dependent on what upgrades you've purchased at your home base. This is thankfully one element that isn't random, although it's almost impossible to tell which one will be the best until you've already failed a mission. On the same screen, you pick a perk to bring along with you, and this is again also something that you buy at your base. Upon entering a dungeon, you'll see that some things are pre-made, while you have to put down the rest. During your turn, you can play up to 3 cards, which include enemies, floor tiles, and items. The ones you receive are all random, by the way. After you put these down, you'll see another sort of random part of the game, and that is the fact that you don't move your adventurers yourself, they move themselves. So basically it's your job to lay out the dungeon in such a way that it lures them toward where you want them to go. And yes, this sometimes leads to them going the absolute opposite direction. Yay! No doubt it was done this way to kind of simulate what it's like to be a dungeon master. But putting this in a single-player video game is really just annoying as hell. Moving along, defeating enemies or finding chests will give you items. These are all randomized. Each item will give you a different selection of cards or perks, so you need to build your character accordingly. Of course, the game doesn't give you a lot of information of what cards you should actually be getting here, so it's kind of a crapshoot. You're not gonna really know what enemies have in their decks until you've already been murdered by them. Killing enemies will also increase your level, which allows you to kill higher level enemies. Assuming the game didn't screw you over and gave you only enemy cards that you can't possibly beat, you'll go into a battle screen. This is where RNGesus will bend you over and go in dry. You could have some of the best gear with some of the best cards, and if the game doesn't give you what you want, you're screwed. Dying to enemies that you really shouldn't be dying to is absolutely infuriating. No! Oh, come on. Oh, for fuck's sake. And if you die, the hero's dead forever, and you have to start all over again. Kinda feels like those old NES games that were about 10 minutes long, but were extended to many hours because they were so stupidly hard. However, in this case, it's not really about skill, it's just about pure luck. Alright, so let's say RNGesus finally smiles upon you when you finish a mission. Guess what happens? Everything is reset back to 0. Yep, you gotta get your levels and all your gear absolutely every single time, over and over and over again. The only solace that you'll find here is that all of that gold that you've been picking up during the game will allow you to buy better perks. So you can get better adventurers and better talismans and all that stuff. Of course, it doesn't feel all that useful when you still have to deal with all that random bullshit. So, should you buy this game? If you don't mind all the randomness and you play this rather casually, you might get some enjoyment out of this. But I'm gonna guess that the majority of players are gonna find this just as annoying as I did. I guess it has a bit of an addicting quality to it, but that's kinda like being addicted to being punched in the balls repeatedly. Not really a good thing. I feel like this might have played a little bit better for me if it was on mobile. A little time waster to play in short bursts. But having to beat this one for a review? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna play it again. Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe for more. Also check out all my social media accounts to see what I'm up to. And maybe hit up my Patreon to help me do this full time.